So in this video there's a couple of first class replays in the T95E3, which is a Western Alliance medium tank in Era 1. It's a very strong tank. I think it's one of the strongest, if not potentially the strongest tank at Era 1. The turret is very strong. This is the what I run on it. I've got the optics, got the rammer, got the vertical stabilizers. Run just 10 premium shells. I tend to just fire the standard out. It seems to work, the standard shells, but I'm coming up to this flank on the heavy flank. I do tend to use this tank more like a heavy. As you can see, it is relatively slow for a medium tank in Era 1. Very nicely armoured at the front, so just coming up, just using a rock to the side just in case any enemies come up down the 9 line. Just taking some, just using the true vision, and just on this ridge at the moment. So there's a couple of tanks over there. Just constantly just making little movements, because I feel like, as you can see on the turret, they've got the big cupola there. It's a very big weak spot. That's where you need to aim on these tanks. As usual, sort of lower plate and the cupola is the only real weak points of this tank, but they are pretty big weak points, especially on ridges. You'll see in the second replay, when you fight against a T95E3, you just need to wait until they start pushing up the ridge and you've got a nice clear shot there. Huge cupola coming over the top, so that's the only real downside to this tank. Has a bit of a, I suppose it does have a little bit of a reputation, a bit of a seal clubber tank, this tank. I think it is because of that, because of it is very strong, hold down, and you need to know about sort of the weak points and everything. So unfortunately with Era 1 there seems to be lots of sort of auto locking. So against an experienced player or someone that's actually manually aiming, they can start going through that cupola. So always trying to move, especially when you're trying to use true vision. But still here, no reason to move really. I'm in quite a strong position. No one seems to be taking shots at me using true vision or anything, but I've now decided that with this FE 4005 supporting me, I do need to provide some support. I really don't want those two mediums pushing up. That FE 4005, that's really going to be useful to me to be on this flank. As you can see, both of them are hesitant to poke because they know there's a big TD behind me. So take the low health one. I think it thought I had fired, but I was just holding my shot knowing that there was a one-shot tank around there. So again, knock one of them out, just got the medium there. I'm just kind of leaving it for the TD behind, but I've noticed that it seems to be repositioning. Just want to come back onto this rock really, and got some shots, so I'm going to take them. It does have quite a long, or it feels quite a long reload compared to some of the other mediums. It's got quite a long reload, again relative for Era 1. It's more than manageable. It's a very nice gun. As you can see, it's quite accurate, especially with the vertical stabilizers. The crew I've got in it, fairly basic. Fairly basic. It's got 4 skills. The 4 skills I would consider to be sort of almost mandatory: 6 spawn leader, rapid loading, and steady aim. Make a bit of a misplay here. Yeah, take a lot of my health off. I was too enthusiastic to relocate because I could see where the mediums were going along that ridge. I want to go up onto this ridge up here. Wasn't worth it. To be honest, I should have just gone round where the FE 4005's going. But yeah, even in sort of first class games, you'll make mistakes. take the M47 down that was using the whole repair kit. Still not convinced on that whole repair kit. Very situational, and it assumes that you're going to be taking a lot of hits, but it is what it is. Got something up here. It's in one of these trees or bushes over here somewhere. Trying to bait a shot, and I've baited one, so I'm pretty sure it's here in that bush. Take a shot and get the kill. So it's 5 versus 8. I'm thinking we've kind of almost encircled them. They seem to have pushed down the middle, so I think this is very winnable in this situation as it is. A bounce off the back of the Object 268, really strong TD that is. Another bounce, just moved just when I was just about to fire, so I've decided I'm going to try and just get a shot into its side here with the heat now loaded up, and just leave it on 10 health unfortunately. And the FV 4005, I suppose it gets a kill, but considering the alpha of that gun, and it does 10 damage, as I said, I suppose it got the kill. And now I'm just going up this side. I just want to use the ridge on the left hand side just to cover me. I'm not too sure how the battle's going to go on the southern flank. It seems to have been, that's where the enemy is making their push. With the matchmaking and how games are going at the moment, I'm not too sure if that TD could be AFK, I'm not too sure. But I'm just trying to make my way up here. I just want to get the high grounds. Just want to try and get hold down, try and get my shooting angles. And we've got this T94A. Fired the heat through the turret. I had the heat loaded. There's no reason to reload until I fired, so back onto the standard. You really don't want to be spamming the premium in this tank. Firstly, the premium shells are heat, so it could be absorbed by tracks, could be absorbed by spaced armour. There isn't too much spaced armour at Era 1, but it could easily be absorbed by tracks. And the standard, as you can see, even over range, it's just fine as it is. Got this T94A down here on 5 health. I think it's probably just AFK. We've got low health, and just quit, I suppose, quit the game. So I've now clawed it back to 4-3, so not looking too bad now. I'm just coming across the middle. I feel like they're making a push to our base, so I want to go and defend the base. Ideally that 4005 can stay back, try and get shots. Fairly confident they've all gone to the southern flank. But now I just want to try and get some shots, and I do get a nice shot in. I'm not too sure if I've tracked it. It's there. And yeah, it was tracked, it's just repaired. Just tried to try and get the lower plane, and didn't, unfortunately. Take a hit, and now we're on quite low health. I ruined the mistake earlier of knocking a good several hundred health off at this point. And my assumption from earlier, because I was that's how I was playing the game, I had thought that we had cleared this area out, and which we hadn't. The FV 4005 comes in with a big shot. So I've decided now we're going to come back here. I'm a 2-shot to the tanks left on the enemy team, so feeling fairly good about the situation that we're in at the moment. We've managed to claw it back. It's 2v2. In this situation I always fancy I'm going to win. But now I've seen this Centurion 2 and just gets deleted. I was a little bit concerned that it was going hold down and was going to be a real pain to get through, but the 4005 really pulls through, gets a nice shot through it. And now we've got this M46 YOLO in. It seems to be wanting, it's completely focused on the 4005. It's got one mark, so it's probably just after damage now. Put a nice shot into the back, and as you can see, the M46 can reload faster, but we just had enough hit points. But that mistake earlier would have made that game easier. So yeah, we get the win. Really good win. 7 kills, just over 6,000 damage. The TD at the end with me got second place, so really good couple of games from us. Most direct hits as well. You know, surviving all the way through to the end that's probably going to happen. So yeah, really good tank. As you can see, I was going to the heavy route, playing it almost like a mobile heavier, sort of a heavium. It's just with Era 1, the tanks are so fast that it's a little bit pointless trying to keep up with the other mediums. You just need to sort of play it like a heavy. So in this game, platooned up, both in T95E3s, loading the heat straight away. We want to go to the middle ridge. There's only one light tank on the enemy team. So I feel like the enemy light tank is going to go sort of F2, F3 area, or it might just go down this central road in this little village at the top of this ridge. So I've loaded the heat in thinking the first tank I'm likely to engage probably be a hold down medium tank. So the heat's in. Got the light tank there. That's the priority really. And we've got this T44 that I set on fire. Loading the heat again. It's not going to survive very long. And sure enough, there's an M48, which I've loaded the heat for. But the enemy team have made a really strong push through the town. They seem to just be going for it. Still got the heat in. Just want to make sure these shots go in. So yeah, just putting shots in now. They really have pushed the town extremely hard. They've done quite an aggressive push. They really are trying to win the town straight away and pushing us out. Unfortunately for them, they've overextended, especially those two over there. We've got the TD and the medium in F0 that can easily outflank them and come around the back. But they are actually winning down there. They are starting to destroy our tanks that were going into the town. Got the M48. Again, that's what the heat's loaded for. This type of engagement, I was thinking it was going to happen. Got the M47 here, just wanting to wait until it's fully aimed in before taking that shot. So in this situation, it's a little bit of a strange battle. The front line, I suppose you could call it, it's kind of like, so sort of like along the 8 line and along the E line as well. So it's we've got like, you know, the bottom third really. The enemy team have really pushed out quite nicely. Luckily that M46 reversed into the shot, not drove forward, so we get the kill on that one. And I'm just wanting to go over here. I really want to win the western flank. I feel like the enemy team at this point they've pushed hard through the town. So I'm feeling that if we can win the western flank, we can really get up the 1-2 line and get in round the back. Again, always taking into consideration what's on the enemy team. So there's only a couple of TDs, so it's unlikely that there's too many people camping B2 area. So coming up onto this little ridge, I quite like these ridge lines here. You can get some nice shots. Unfortunately, dirt the shot into the ground. But we're going to just stay here. We do need to get rid of this Centurion, but we've got the NM. They are quite stealthy little TDs, so I do want to get some shots in, but got this SU 12254. Get a nice shot in there. Just reversing back. Don't want it to use true vision, or just to, if it can't see me, just to blind fire. But it's there again. Unfortunately, just gets killed when I fire the shot, but it happens. Just pinging to defend the base now. They've won the town. They're going to come through. And as you can see, my initial idea that we needed to win the western flank, hopefully you can see now why I wanted to do that. We don't have any tanks behind us, and we've got this push from the town. So we've secured the western flank. We just need to purely focus on one side, just getting hold down against one side of enemies, and yeah, just putting shots in onto the standard, going through the M46 or the M48's turret fairly consistently with it. As you can see, that one seemed to be aiming high into the cupola, and unfortunately someone else using the whole repair kit, they just kind of came out slap sideways, and they may have thought because they had the repair kit that they could sort of survive any shot, but that's not necessarily the case with that repair kit. And we're down to the last enemy tank. I've got lots of hit points. I do just want to go in, put an auto lock shot in, go for a round. Just hopefully reload before my allies finish it off. Get another shot in. My allies now putting shots into it, so I don't think I'll be able to swing the turret around. Allies finishes it off. So yeah, really good game in that one. It's really important to remember how the battle can flip like that sometimes, and when the enemy are pushing hard on one flank, that's usually a really good indication that the other flank is lightly contested. So always try and win one flank at least, which I feel like we did in that battle. We won the western flank, so we were able to go hold down when they started streaming out of the town. So yeah, that's the T95E3. Really strong tank, really fun tank actually. It's definitely, I consider it a heavium. It's not as mobile as the other mediums in Cold War, but yeah, extremely strong. But if you fight against one, just aim for the cupola when it starts poking ridges. If you do that, you can get a shot in before it's gone over the ridge. So yeah, just aim for the cupola, and then just try and back further down the ridge to get out of its gun range. But yeah, hopefully you liked the video, and thanks for watching.